Hi everyone, welcome to this video. My name's Oliver. My wife Pam and I love to travel. So when we were blessed with our beautiful child, we decided to keep on traveling and to share our experiences with you guys so you don't have to stop traveling. This one is kind of setting up for a couple of the travel videos we've got coming, where we're going to share our experiences on specific journeys that we've done. This one though is literally an overview of something we've decided. Is a cruise the perfect family holiday with a baby? Right, let me talk in general about what constitutes a sea cruise. What's great about a sea cruise? It does not matter what brand you go with, there are certain things which are pretty much the same on all of them. Effectively, it's, with the exception of a couple of lines who are fairly budget, you go onto a luxury hotel that's floating. That luxury hotel will take you places. Every day you wake up, you're either at sea and get to enjoy the facilities of the hotel, or you're in another interesting port where you can go and have a nice day out and explore. There is food almost 24 hours a day. You will always be able to find somewhere where they're serving up something that you can enjoy. Almost all cruise lines, apart from adult-only ones, have a kids club or facilities for kids to go and play and relax and unwind. I will talk more about our experience with that in a mo. Sea days, in other words, days when the ship is at sea, moving between places, are brilliant because it means you've got a day where you can go to the spa, you can go shopping, you can go hang out in the casino, you can literally just go and play with the kids in the splash zone if there is one, or on whatever play facilities. You can relax. It's a chill day. And if you're traveling with someone like me who loves to fill every day with action, and you're someone who, like my wife, likes to enjoy the room and relax, this forces the more go person to just calm it down. When you get to these amazing ports, there is no reason why you can't just go off and explore on your own. You also have the option of booking an excursion or booking a tour, either with a third-party company or with the cruise line. The cruise line charge a premium for one simple reason. They guarantee you will get back to the ship. If you, for whatever reason, something stops you from getting back to the ship, they will make sure you are looked after. You are fed, you are watered, you are put up in a hotel, you got to the next place that ship will be to get back on. They will look after you. Often, when you book an excursion, you'll notice the excursion is back about 3 or 4 hours at least before the ship is due to leave, and guess what? You've probably got time to get off on your own and wander and explore a little bit still, if you choose to. But these days out in some amazing places, we've gone wandering around Malta, we've gone wandering around Barcelona, we've gone wandering around all these very interesting cities, and you've got, enough time to really kind of wander around some of the key sites, see them all a bit. And if you've done a few cruises, when you go back, you can be actually, you know what, we're going to target that specific thing, or we're going to go to that specific museum for a proper day out. Excursions are optional. I really do want to underline that. We've, on our first ever cruise, pretty much did an excursion every day. It was a bit much. Every cruise after that, we maybe have booked one to something specific, but generally, we like to just go off and explore on our own. We plan what we'd like to see ahead of getting to the port, research what's there, and look at how we're going to get there. Right, re-recording this section because genuinely I went off on a bit of a waffle and didn't focus on what I wanted to say with this bit. The beauty of cruising can be that it's good value for money. It will never be the cheapest holiday type, but I've got just a couple of slides here just to talk about what you can get out there. Looking through to 2027, there's actually cruises available for a family of 4 going to some really, really beautiful places just at the start of the school holidays, just at the start of the summer holidays. So this is summer holidays pricing for a trip. £2,400. The reason I'm using MSC Cruises, the gratuities, which I'll explain a bit elsewhere, are included. So this price is the price for the whole cruise, and you won't get an extra charge when you get on board. I did find the same itinerary for this year. It is a little bit more because the prices are going up where the ships are selling out. I also looked at some bargains just outside the school holidays. Nice trip down to Spain in May of this year. So this is one of those ones where you expect it to be filling up a bit. And again, £1,500 for a family of 3. And then I've also looked at a cruise we've done a few times, the amazing, what I think of as the Christmas markets cruise around Europe. Starting off in Southampton, you've got so many options with this one that for £1,000, 2 adults and a preschool age child can go off and go mooching around all the Christmas markets in Northern Europe. So, the things that you may end up having to pay extra for. Pretty much every cruise line, with the exception of some of the ultra luxury ones, normally you don't have all your alcohol included. Wi-Fi, again, the more premium lines, the luxury lines generally include this, but everyone else, they want to charge you per device per day, and they'll charge you more if you want to stream. Most cruise lines have things with an upcharge from entertainment point of view, arcade machines. There's a zip line on some cruise lines. There's an F1 simulator on the MSC ships, bowling, things like that. There'll generally be a small upcharge for that per person. Most cruise lines have realised that if they have a particularly special restaurant or restaurants, they can charge you for that. Pretty much every cruise line has a spa. It is a nice way of getting pampered, and it's always an upcharge. I should have put something about casino as well on here. So yeah, casinos, they want you to gamble your money away. They have photographers on board. As you're walking around, they'll try and take your photo in attractive spots, and then they want to charge you for those photos. Let them take the photos, that's free, but paying for the photos later. Excursions. The cruise line want you to book excursions through them. They charge you a premium for those excursions because they guarantee to get you back to the ship. Right. The other thing, you will get charged on some cruise lines, gratuities or service charges. Always be aware that these exist. When you go and look at your upfront cruise cost, the reason, as I said before, why I've used MSC as example pricing is simply they include the gratuities. So these are the prices you will pay, including the daily service charge for the person who's looking after you exceedingly well in your cabin. Unfortunately, because it's tipping culture from America has infected this industry, these service charges don't always get added to the upfront cruise fare, and regularly you hear stories of people who've gone on the last day for their first ever cruise. They've looked at it and gone, hang on, why for the 4 of us are we basically getting charged another £100, £150 each? Make sure you find out what the situation is with service charges. As I say, those prices I showed, and part of the reason we like booking with MSC, they included the service charges. But Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Disney, they all have different service charges. What I find useful is to think about what's included though. There's so many daily activities, so many things that they put on. Literally, there's dance classes and fitness classes and this, that, the other going on all day. Quizzes and comedians and DJs, and you can just sit in a bar without even ordering a drink and just listen to someone play jazz for an afternoon. If that's your bag, great. No luggage limits. You're never going to get charged a luggage excess. For someone who overpacks, great. Gym, there's a gym on board. Go get fit. There's a walking track. Go get fit. You've been in the buffet for 3 hours. You've eaten your body weight in whatever nice food was there. Go for a walk. Live shows, live music, they're everywhere on board. That main theatre, some of the shows, depending on the cruise line, will be literal Broadway shows. MSC, not always so much, but that's because they're having to cater to people from all over the world who speak lots of different languages. Your pools and hot tubs, just, yeah, go get wet. Main dining room is included. The buffet is also included. I talked to someone on a cruise who didn't realise the buffet was not the only place they could eat. They didn't realise that the main dining room was covered as well. If you don't like what's on the menu in the main dining room, go up to the buffet, help yourself to whatever's there. In the buffet, there is always hot water, there's always tea, there's always coffee, there's always a cold water tap. Our hot tip for when you're on these cruises, if you need hot water for making formula, things like that, and you haven't been able to get a kettle for your cabin, don't fret. There's boiling hot water in the buffet. Just going to quickly mention, and I haven't got a slide for this, the cruise card. When you board the cruise ship, you show them your passports, you show them all your information. They will give you a little plastic card, or it might be waiting on your cabin door. That plastic card, you show it when you get on and off the ship. They scan it, they check you in and out the ship. You very rarely need to show your passport after that. It's also the way you pay for things. So as you travel around the ship, hey, I want a drink, here's my cruise card. That way they know to charge, and at the end of the trip, normally through the app, there's a bill. That's what gets settled. Keep an eye on the bill in the app every day. On our last cruise, for the first time ever, we had something charged. We got charged for 6 drinks when we had 2. So I wandered down to customer service, said, hey, this is what's happened. And the difference got refunded back. It took 5 minutes to be sorted. But that cruise card is your money on board. It's also your way on and off the ship. They will not let your child off without their cruise card. And when they scan the cruise card for your child, it will flag to say, make sure they're with one of their parents. So yeah, that's your money on board. And this is me talking about the money part pretty much wrapped up. But you see the value for money in these. And if you shop around, I'm fairly sure if you book far enough in advance for a summer holiday or a school holidays trip, you'll probably be able to find similar ones to this. I'm certain you can find sub £1,000 cruises. And then there are, obviously, I've not even talked about fly cruises, which include flights to get you to somewhere. You will, when you arrive at your room, find there's a wonderful person in the hallway. They are your cabin steward. Their job for that week is to look after that corridor of rooms. Sometimes there's 2 or 3 people working together in a team. Sometimes you've got one specific guy who's looking after your area. That whole week, they will be there in the hallway when you're wandering out in the morning. If you've got any problems, any questions, sometimes it's worth talking to them before you go and queue up at the customer service, because they can point you in the direction of all sorts of useful things. So, the other thing we love, apart from obviously the cabin steward, the food being there 24/7, you've got the buffet, main dining room that's included in your cruise fare. You've got kids clubs that are included in your cruise fare. The gratuities, which may not be included in your cruise fare. There's no need to fly. You can normally find a cruise that you can get on, regardless of where you are on the planet, from a nearby port. If you're a US viewer of this channel, look at all the ports around your country. You'll find plenty of cruise lines that do very, very nice itineraries. When you've got a little one, the thought of going on a plane for however many hours might not feel like a good plan. It's fine. I recommend, planning properly if you're going to fly. And on the video that's coming up where we talk about an actual trip we did, then I will talk about the experience with flying as well. There are as many cruise lines as there are different types of people who cruise. I I've literally made a list of the ones that I could think of when I was preparing for this video. The one we've cruised with is MSC. They are privately owned. They're the Mediterranean Shipping Company. They own all their ships. They're owned by an Italian family. And being Italian, they're very, very family friendly. The kids clubs are brilliant. There's even a playroom for babies. If your child is 6 months old, you have a room to go and play in. If they're a year old, there's even times when you can leave them. Once they're 3, it becomes almost like a nursery where you can drop them off if you want to for prolonged periods of time. And it goes all the way through to 18 years old. There's different sections of the kid area catering to the different age groups. So they can go off and have fun. There's splash areas. There's all sorts of wonderful things. The nice thing about MSC, A, they're very budget friendly with their upfront price anyway. They include the gratuities if you're booking from the UK. So that price I'm paying already includes the wages for my cabin steward. And we have felt the need to give extra money to the cabin steward on a couple of the itineraries we've done because they've looked after us so well. The other ones you're going to hear about are, as soon as you start to research cruise lines, you've got Royal Caribbean Group. Royal Caribbean have the largest cruise ships in the world. No one will argue with that. For them, the cruise ships are the destination. They also have lots of good family spaces, but if you're cruising from Europe, you tend to find the older ships are over here, which aren't the big mega ships as they're called. There's not that many UK sailings, and it looks like they've downgraded the ship that's sailing out the UK to one that's even older. But a very family friendly, a very activity heavy theme park at sea type experience on most of their ships. You've also got Carnival, who are the party cruise. They're fairly budget friendly, again, more America focused. You Google them, you'll hear people talking about drunken fights and all sorts. Whether it's Carnival's fault or whether it's the fault of passengers, I'm not going to get into that. To be fair, you hear stories of people having fights on any cruise line when they've been drinking too much. So it's not just Carnival, but Carnival are the ones who have a reputation for that. Again, very US heavy. If you're cruising out the UK, you'll hear about P&O. Now they're owned by Carnival. You'll also hear of Cunard, who are owned by Carnival. These two lines, one is P&O are very family friendly, British oriented. Carnival are a heritage brand. They're very classic in the way they do their cruising. You'll also hear about Virgin Cruise Line. They do not currently have any ships which are child friendly. They are not for family cruises. They're generally aimed at couples and people who want to go for a really good time. They have a lot included in their upfront fare, and by all accounts it's a very good experience, but for a family, not an option. The gold standard for family cruises is Disney, but you will pay a premium. Yes, you get all the Disney characters and the Disney magic on those ships, but it's expensive. Genuinely very expensive. A 3-night cruise on Disney can cost you the same as, a 2-week cruise on MSC. It is ridiculously pricey, but you will get to rotate around all the dining rooms. That is included in your cruise fare. It's dinner and a show every night. There is all sorts of activities, all sorts of family-friendly stuff. The only things you may find you need to pay extra for is wine, if you want alcohol, Wi-Fi, and pretty much it, because soda's just there available for you to drink. It's very much aimed at the family. There is a boutique-y makeover thing they do for the kids. Again, that's an upcharge. But generally, they seem to be quite well thought out in what's included and what's been priced in from the word go. You can, on a cruise, go anywhere on the planet. If you can think of a destination that has water next to it, there is probably a cruise going there. You can go to Alaska, you can go to the Norwegian fjords, you can go to Australia, Japan, etc., etc. You can do all the Caribbean islands you could ever dream of. You can go to anywhere in Northern Europe, anywhere in the Mediterranean, Italy, Greece, etc., etc., etc. There are itineraries going anywhere that's next to the sea. Genuinely, you're only limited by what you're willing to spend. There are even cruise lines that will take you to Antarctic and various other weird and wonderful destinations. Our experience with cruising and why we love it as a family holiday. It's really easy for me to go on about this. We've done mostly European, Mediterranean, Northern Europe. We do have plans to go further afield and do Caribbean. Alaska's a bucket list place. We want to do Norwegian fjords, etc. Every cruise we've done has been with MSC. Before Little One, they made us feel welcome. They made us feel like we were being looked after well. Yes, at times when the dining room or the bar is busy, service isn't necessarily as quick as you might want, but be patient. We have done 2 cruises with Little One and genuinely cannot cover how wonderfully the staff seem to step up under those circumstances. How dining works on MSC, if you're in a certain class of cabin, you have a restaurant that's included and a time when you can go and eat there. All the included restaurants serve the same food, so it doesn't matter which one you're assigned, you're going to get the same food. And there's also a buffet. You can go there 24 hours a day, try the pizza, honestly. When you go to your assigned dining, if you've got one of the assigned dining, or the flex, if you're on one of the more expensive cabins where you get anytime dining and you just turn up to the dining room when you're hungry, they will see you coming and if you've got a little one, high chair will be made available very, very quickly. If you have an assigned dining time and you've got a little one, they know that your family's turning up there every day for its meal. So a chair will have been taken away, a high chair will have been put in place, they will be there ready with the menu. MSC have a menu from 6 months to a year, and a menu which varies a little bit in size depending on the age of the child, from a year through till whatever age. You can order them off the main menu as well. Hopefully I found them. I've put up pictures of the menus that our little one got to enjoy. If you go to one of the speciality restaurants, now these are a little bit of an upcharge on MSC. You pay a bit extra. You can go for some of the most amazing steak you've ever had. You can go for teppanyaki, you can go for sushi, you can go for amazing Mexican cuisine. All these restaurants are charging you more because they are literally pushing the boat out on these. These are extra because they're a bit extra. You go there with your little one, high chair will appear, a child menu will appear, your little one is being served fantastic food just the same as you are. We went to the steak restaurant and our little one was being cooed over and brought their meal alongside ours. You know, this isn't between 12 and 18-month-old child who's literally being brought out like teriyaki chicken, all cut up, all nicely presented that you can then feed to them. The staff see you're feeding the little one, see you're feeding yourselves, they give you extra time, they don't come and bother you, they see what's going on and they let you do the family thing of feeding all of you. With MSC, the other thing we noted, and they do brilliantly, the kids club. That playroom I did not take photos of. I wish I had. You have cots in there so the little one can have a nap. This is the under 3 years playroom I'm talking about. You've got loads of toys in there, a big space. There's all sorts of things for them to crawl on, climb on, jump up and down on. They specify some times of the day when you can drop the little one off. So if you want to go to the spa and relax, you've got this 2 hours when they're going to look after your child for you. You have to pre-book it. The kids' play areas, again, they're well designed, well thought out. It's there for your kids to go and have fun. MSC have really put a lot of thought into their kids' clubs and the age brackets that they are. But as they get older, the sort of activities they get involved in change. Yes, it's an international cruise line. Yes, you can expect kids from different languages to be there, but they do try to make sure that these mixed language groups can all enjoy. Because MSC are European, they put a lot of effort into creating relationships with European brands. So their kids clubs are done in conjunction with Lego. They have them done in conjunction with an Italian toy brand. Their high chairs are all from that same Italian brand. So everything is really well thought out. Their menus for the food are all checked by nutritionalists to make sure that your little one, if they're eating, they might not be eating at that point, is well looked after. If you want to get hot water and you've not been able to get a kettle, ask, they may give you one. If you need hot water though for making formula and things like that, there is a boiling hot water tap in the buffet. You can just go and help yourself 24 hours a day. And if you're starting to wean your little one and you just want to give them little bits in between, you can always pop up to the buffet, grab some food, either take it back to your cabin or feed it there. There are high chairs in the buffet as well. The buffet, main dining room, all included. Remember, you've got unlimited food for your trip. The other thing useful to remember, in the shop on the ship, if you get stuck for a lack of nappies on a sea day, they do have nappies. They do have like basic formula and things like that. It's better to bring them yourself, but cost-wise, in an emergency, not having versus spending 5 times as much, you're going to have to spend that. They know they've got you caught, but they have made provision. They have got these things there. Just like they have phone chargers and toothpaste and toothbrushes and all the things you might have left behind somewhere. Or if you've lost your luggage, at least you've got nappies you can get on board. On both of our family cruises, we arrived at the cabin, saw our cabin steward, said hi, and lo and behold, a cot appeared. It was magical. It was wonderful. When little one was little, it was nice to get the break and nice to be able to relax. And to be in an atmosphere where they wanted to help us relax. When the little one was bigger and we went on more of an extravagant itinerary, which is the one I'll talk about first, that's one of the next couple of videos that's planned. It was great to be able to get off the ship, go to an aquarium, go to interesting and wonderful places, and see the little one enjoy it. See the little one want to run around and toddle around rather in some of the areas. It was just great to see the little one able to interact with these places and to be able to enjoy. So let me summarize this very, very quickly for you, because I'm sure after watching all this video, you're feeling a bit data dumpy. And we love cruises because you're in a luxury hotel, you get to go to some amazing places. You can pick your own adventure and do your thing your way. Don't have to do any specific thing. There's entertainment always available. There's food always available. And the staff are always very family focused. Yes, sometimes a gratuitous thing, depending on the cruise line, can annoy you, can be a little bit suboptimal. And the entertainment might not always be to your taste. The food might not always be to your taste. But there's always the buffet to go to if you not like what's on the menu for dinner. If you get there and you find you've lost something, the shop's always available for emergency items. You have so many options with different cruise lines, with different styles of cruise. We love the experience we've had with MSC. Other cruise lines, if you watch this video and you want to, please try and poach us off them. Give me a massive discount so I have to do those wonderful hashtag gifteds like some of the other YouTubers do and talk about how I was given this, but it's still my honest opinion. Everything you see us cover on this channel, we have paid for. It's all our own opinions. This is our opinions of cruising. So, if you had different experiences, if you want to just say you didn't like something to do with a cruise, slap it down in the comments. If you want to hear more about our misadventures of travelling, by all means, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It helps this channel grow. My aim is to be doing this and actually having it pay for the trips we're going on. So, you know, guys, please help me out here. And to all of you who've watched to the very end of the video, I will have it linked to another possibly related topic or possibly related video up on the side in a moment. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.